boy, you're not going to like this. This is the Phalaenopsis Las Vegas that I got. Where did I get it? Wessex Orchid Society show. I just liked the colours, they are rather nice. And I repotted this as part of the repotting demo when I did my talk a while back. And I'd say it was done a bit hasty, but nonetheless it was still done. And I think this one ended up slightly high in the pot. And this particular one didn't have the best root system. The other plant was potted up and it's fine. This one over the last week has dropped 3 leaves, leaving it with 2. And 2 leaves and not a very good root system is not going to support those spikes anymore. So they're coming off. So this is more about why than how. Everybody knows how to cut a spike off, it's not rocket science. But I don't believe this plant can support these spikes anymore, especially as one of them's branching and starting to create new buds, and the other one's starting a branch as well. It's just too much for the plant. So as far as I'm concerned, I always leave about 1 centimetre. Cut them neatly with something sharp. Okay, and the other thing I want to do is try and straighten the plant up, so I'm hoping that those 2 stakes will just clip together under that leaf like that and just give it a little bit of support. It does look like there's a new root coming, but yeah, this is more about why. I've often said that a plant that's not in the best state health-wise, you know, poor root system, maybe recently repotted, without a good root system, or just not in the best environment, or was in poor health when you got it, the spikes are better off. For the sake of the plant, the spikes come off in this case. The other one's fine and it can support the spikes. It's still got all its leaves and a reasonable root system. But this one, for some reason, dropped 3 leaves. They came off. 2 of them came off on their own. One of them had a little bit of help this morning. So we'll see if it perks up now. I mean, it has got some roots down in here, but this particular one of the 2 didn't have the best root system. And I think, quite honestly, it needs a rest. It just needs a rest from trying to keep this lot going. You know, it's taking everything out of the plant. And it may well be that it sacrificed those leaves. Now, a lot of people will say, and I would agree, if you don't get enough food into Phalaenopsis, chances are it will dump the oldest leaves. If you can keep them well fed and supported, they should hold on to their leaves for years and years and years and just get bigger and stronger. And the more leaves they've got, the bigger and stronger they get. That's now not a strong plant, so we'll give it a rest. We'll just let it sit for a bit. There's no point in giving it loads of food at the moment. There is no sign of a new leaf. It's not in vegetative growth and it's not producing new roots yet. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a rest and we'll see if it perks up. So as I said, that was more about why than how, although the how was there as well. I would always say, if you're cutting a Phalaenopsis spike, don't cut too close to the stem. If you do happen to get a bit of rot, while we're on the subject, if it's right next to the stem, it could get into the stem and then you are in serious trouble, because your job to recover from that. But as I've recently cut those spikes, just to be sure, we'll put a dab of cinnamon on the end of each of those spikes, and that will seal it, stop any infections getting in, and just dry the end of those spikes off, and that removes the chance of any rot setting in. And that, on this type of plant with that type of stem, that's a precaution rather than what I would call an essential. But if you've got the stuff, why not use it? So there we go. That's a sad looking object now, but hopefully it'll pick up. As I said, if I give it a rest from the blooms, it might start thinking, Well, I've lost my blooms. Perhaps I ought to start growing some leaves and or some roots, or branching the roots I've currently got. So we'll see how it does. See you next time.